On August 20th, 2023, the quiet neighborhood of Whittier was turned upside down by a shocking tragedy. A sweet 19-year-old girl, loved by everyone who knew her, was killed by a hitman. What could have led to such a heartbreaking end? In 2023, Andrea Vazquez and her boyfriend were seated in her boyfriend's car in Penn Park, Whittier, Los Angeles, when a shocking incident happened. Andrea and her partner were having a good time, but didn't know what was coming for them. A few moments into sitting in the car, Andrea and her boyfriend were attacked, and this horrifying episode would only open up to even darker and more horrifying truths. Andrea Vazquez was attacked and kidnapped at gunpoint.
I loved her more than anybody could understand. Every moment with her was like a dream, you know?
He's talking about Andrea Vazquez, the beautiful 19-year-old woman who was kidnapped from Penn Park in Whittier on August 20th, 2023. Gabriel Esparza has been charged with her kidnapping, murder, and attempted rape.
I'm still trying to accept everything.
Andrea's boyfriend is speaking publicly about that horrific night for the very first time. He and Andrea were hanging out at Penn Park when suddenly a truck pulled up and the driver opened fire on them.
I ducked, and that's when I realized Andrea had been shot. As I crouched and got closer to her, that's when I heard the door open.
Andrea had been shot in the head, and now the gunman was walking towards him.
When he got really close, he was about like 5 feet, 6 feet, and he just looked at me. He had like no emotions in his eyes, just he looked like he was on a mission, and I could tell like he...
According to her 20-year-old boyfriend, the assailant had targeted the couple. In an interview, he shared that Andrea had been sitting on the bonnet of his car when a truck came rushing towards them. Suddenly, a man pointed a gun in their direction, and he claimed that Andrea was shot in the head. He fled the scene for safety, but Andrea was no longer there when he returned. In an interview, he told the police that he had seen blood traces at the scene. Andrea's boyfriend was convinced that the attacker was on a mission. He claimed he had caught a glimpse of his face, and his eyes were not those of a man with a conscience. After Andrea Vazquez disappeared from the crime scene, Andrea's boyfriend could only think of one thing: looking for his girlfriend. Andrea's family soon became aware of their daughter's disappearance. Her boyfriend and family alerted the local police department. The police began working on the case immediately and soon provided the family with Andrea's location through her phone. Andrea's sister Edlin started looking for any means to reach out to her sister as soon as she heard she was missing. Edlin managed to track Andrea's location using Apple's Find My iPhone feature and began following it. However, she soon lost it a few minutes later. I tracked it to going down the 60. I started following it, and the location stopped in Moreno Valley, and that's the last known location that I have of her, she said in an interview with ABC7. The 19-year-old last location was Moreno Hills. This was a bit of development for Andrea's family, as they had information about their daughter's whereabouts. After the police discovered this, Andrea's family began doing everything they could to save their daughter. The 19-year-old sister, Evelyn Vasquez, posted on Facebook imploring the public to provide any helpful information about Andrea. In the post, she wrote that my sister was shot and kidnapped at Penn Park. We did not know her condition. I am begging anyone to share this if they have any information or the heart. Please contact me and repost. Additional information about Andrea was provided in a statement by the police. The young adult was last seen wearing a long-sleeved black crop top, khaki pants, and black low-top Converse shoes. She has an Edelin tattoo on the back of her neck, another one, Aries constellation, on the top of her right hand, and a belly button piercing. Information about Andrea's physical appearance was also supplied. She was described as a Hispanic woman, 5'3", 160 pounds, with brownish red hair and brown eyes. Although this information was precise and wholesome, no one knew about Andrea Vazquez. The investigation of her disappearance was slowed, And this was not the only reason. Although the local police department started working immediately,
Downey Police issued a statement that says in part, "The Downey Police Department became involved in the investigation on August 20, 2023. Downey officers immediately began gathering information from her boyfriend and family members, relaying all information, including Andrea's cell phone tracking data, to Whittier officers. The investigation continued round the clock. However, sadly, Andrea's body was later located in a field in Moreno Valley."
After Andrea Vazquez's kidnapping was reported, the case faced a significant obstacle. The local police could not do much because of its bureaucratic nature. The police needed help to act on the information they had gathered on Andrea's location. According to the victim's mother, Anna Vasquez, the police told her to go to the Whittier police. Anna, still shaken by the shocking disappearance of her daughter, thought it ridiculous to drive to Whittier at that point. She was scared and in shock. According to her, she had been shaking. It was impossible for her to drive. Unfortunately, the local police could do nothing, as the case was not in their jurisdiction. The actions of the local police elicited different reactions from the public. The response to Anna Vasquez was criticized by a former LAPD detective, Moses Castillo. The detective admitted that the police are taught to respect jurisdiction. However, it would have helped to break specific rules in that situation. Castillo mentioned something about the police's Code 3 conduct. According to him, the Downey police could have gotten in the car, and while on their way there, they would notify the CHP to get on the same page. The Downey police, under the heat of criticism, responded by stating that they acted after being contacted by the Whittier Police Department. In a statement released, the Downey police said, "The Downey community remains saddened by the tragic and senseless killing of 19-year-old Downey resident Andrea Vazquez. Our hearts go out to her family as they continue to grieve her loss." The Downey Police Department became involved in the investigation on August 20th, 2023. When contacted by the Whittier Police Department, who was seeking assistance in contacting Andrea's boyfriend, who had witnessed the initial assault of Andrea. Within less than 10 minutes of receiving the call from the Whittier Police Department, Downey officers could locate and contact Andrea's boyfriend at her parents' residence in Downey. Downey officers immediately began gathering information from her boyfriend and family members, relaying all information, including Andrea's cell phone tracking data, to Whittier officers. Downey PD continued to work in collaboration with the Whittier Police Department in an attempt to locate Andrea. It is believed that there's no bigger pain than losing a child.
A 19-year-old Whittier woman missing tonight, and her family is worried sick about her safety. They believe she was shot and kidnapped. KCAL's Lauren Posen spoke with her family, who just want her back home.
It's a pain that nobody deserves. She was my everything. She was my everything.
The only cure for the deep heartache for this mother and her family is the safe return of her beloved daughter, Andrea.
It's just hard to get rest. It feels guilty to even sleep.
Anna Vasquez was plunged into the deepest kind of pain on August 22nd, 2023. Andrea Vasquez's body was found in a vegetation field off Alessandra Boulevard and Marin Street in Moreno Valley. The police did not disclose the state of the body of the 19-year-old in the crime scene. In an interview, Anna Vasquez confessed that she knew the worst had happened on that fateful Monday. Her motherly instincts had kicked in when the police appeared at her door. She knew her daughter was gone. Anna shared how she could never wish the kind of pain she and her family were going through on her enemy. Andrea's sister Edelyn was distraught. In an interview, she shared how she had hoped for a better outcome. When the police first discovered Andrea's location, they searched the location with canines. Edelyn admitted that Andrea's death was the most painful thing she had ever felt. Her little sister was her best friend and everything.
It's just hard to get rest. It feels guilty to even sleep. She's a homebody. She's my best friend.
The discovery of Andrea's body did not only shake her family. The neighbor of the Vasquez family held a vigil in her honor. Andrea Vazquez grew up in Downey, California, with her sister Edelyn Vasquez and her parents, Eduardo and Ana Vasquez. The Vasquez family was pretty happy, and Andrea was one of the significant contributors to their bliss. According to Ana, Andrea was a devoted daughter. In an interview, she admitted that Andrea made her days happier. The heartbroken mother recalled the letter the 19-year-old sent her on Mother's Day. The letter had been signed lavishly and lovingly, Andrea. Ana fondly shared how it had taken her a while to figure out what Andrea meant. Andrea Vazquez had a great sense of humor, a quality that endeared people to her. This quality helped her a lot while growing up. Andrea was a quiet and introverted child. She had a few friends, but always managed to get the best people. Andrea grew interested in different professions as a kid. She wanted to be a veterinarian, and her mother said her interest in the job grew because she loved pets. At age 10, Andrea took in a black and white stray cat named Figaro. She cared for the cat for 9 years, and it lived with Vasquez until Andrea's death. Ana believed that Andrea's love for pets reflected her pure soul. Andrea was a meticulous, organized kid who loved keeping her space neat and orderly. Ana said Andrea would complain whenever someone left stuff out of place. Andrea also meant the world to her father, Eduardo Vasquez. In an interview, he shared how lovely and likable Andrea was as a kid. Originally from San Juan de los Lagos, Jalisco, Mexico, Eduardo recalled that he used to spend summers with Andrea there when she was still tiny. As a little girl, Andrea was very attached to her sister. Although the sisters were 15 years apart, they bonded so well. Edelyn described her sister as her soulmate. They were inseparable, but very different from each other, like opposites. Edelyn's clothes and most of her wardrobe are black, while Andrea's is white. While speaking in an interview, Edelyn mentioned when she and Andrea had gone shopping. They had both gone separate to do their thing and shop to their liking. According to Edelyn, when they found each other again, they both had the same shirt, but she had it in black, while Andrea had hers in white. Edelyn and Andrea enjoyed being around each other. They hung out together a lot. Edelyn recalled their coffee runs. She and her sister often visited Phil's Coffee, where they would buy small drinks to drink on the way and big ones to save and drink later. Edelyn and Andrea had the same tattoos on their back. Edelyn had Andrea's name tattooed on her back, while Andrea also had a tattoo of Edelyn at the same spot. Like her sister, Andrea loved music. Her favorite artist was Ted Impala. Andrea and Edelyn even flew to Amsterdam to see one of his concerts. Andrea's pure personality radiated as she grew older. She was very close to her sister's son since they were very close in age. She was very loving to him and helped him prepare for school. According to Edelyn, they were both in elementary school at some point. She recalled a scenario where her son had freaked out and reported that his aunt yelled at him in school. Andrea pursued a beautiful friendship with Edelyn's kids. Edelyn had another kid, a girl named Raylan. Just like Andrea and Edelyn, the age gap between Andrea and Raylan was significant, but Andrea wanted to be best friends with her. As Andrea grew older, her mind sharpened and she became interested in things. Eduardo encouraged her to participate in sports. Andrea took interest in soccer and played from the age of 7 to 14. Eduardo received picture albums and trophies every week. However, Andrea lost interest in playing soccer as her attention turned to something else: fashion. Andrea's interest was fashion until her tragic demise. Her goal in life was to become a fashion entrepreneur and millionaire. According to her family, Andrea's interest in fashion started in high school. Her sister Edelyn told her how she would dress in fashionable and cute ways while attending school. Andrea's ultimate goal was to become a big name in the fashion world and have her own luxury brand. Her mother Ana shared how the 19-year-old would talk about how she wanted to style celebrities in expensive outfits. Andrea had great taste and loved nurturing by visiting expensive neighborhoods to admire high-end homes and luxury. Andrea followed her dream as she became a student at Fullerton College. She was a fashion major and was about to start her second year as a fashion major before her death. Andrea's father, Eduardo, confessed that watching Andrea go to Fullerton College was fulfilling. It thrilled him to watch his daughter pursue one of her biggest goals in life. In an interview, he confessed that some of his most memorable moments with his daughter were watching her drive to school. Eduardo would sit with Andrea in the car and watch her drive to school even after she had gotten her driver's license. The doting father recalled his decision to allow her to drive alone to school. Andrea had managed to drive them to her school without making him step on imaginary brakes. Andrea Vazquez chased her dream ruthlessly. Her school's fashion design professor, Renee Young, believed that Andrea was gifted. She had a unique style of doing things. She was always aware of trending fashion styles and looks and knew how to incorporate them into her designs. The fashion professor admitted that Andrea's design for her final project was one of the most unique in the class. In an interview, Andrea Vazquez mentioned that her daughter had a bright future with a high chance of becoming very successful.
My daughter have a brilliant future and now she's not here.
However, this was snatched from her when she was murdered. For a girl so intelligent and likable, what could have attracted a hitman after her? When Andrea's body was found, the police also uncovered specific evidence connected to the killer.
The 19-year-old woman who was kidnapped and found dead in Moreno Valley has been laid to rest. Friends and family gathered at Rose Hills Memorial in Whittier yesterday to say goodbye to Andrea Vazquez. 20-year-old Gabriel Esparza is accused of shooting Vasquez while she and her boyfriend were at Whittier's Penn Park last month. Police say Esparza then kidnapped her. Her body was found a day later in a field. Her parents are still shocked by the senseless murder.
However, who these pieces of evidence belong to would leave you speechless. The police found a white Toronto Jeep and the weapon used in the attack around where Andrea's body was found.
2 days later, her body was found in this Moreno Valley field.
Esparza has pleaded not guilty to all 7 counts filed against him. He's being held without bail.
Shortly after, the police started searching for Gabriel Esparza, the 20-year-old who had become a prime suspect. The Whittier Police Department informed the general public of its interest in Gabriel. With the help of the LAPD, Gabriel was arrested at his workplace in Lakewood. The Whittier Police Department said in a press statement, "This relentless investigation and yesterday's arrest were made possible by the dedication and commitment of our investigations division. With the assistance of the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, Downey Police Department, La Habra Police Department, and the LADA Investigations Bureau Community Violence Reduction Team," Whittier Police said in a statement. The police had found a white Jeep believed to belong to Gabriel. The arrest had shaken the 20-year-old. He confessed that he was scared and didn't imagine he would be arrested for the case. The police believed that the suspect had randomly targeted Andrea. After shooting her, he drove her to Moreno Park and attempted to rape her afterward. Gabriel was charged with 7 counts. Los Angeles Attorney General George Gaskin announced this in a press release. "Our hearts ache for the devastating loss of a young life. The heinous nature of this crime, involving the murder, kidnapping, and attempted rape of an innocent young woman, shocks our community to its core." District Attorney Gaskin said, "My office will tirelessly hold Gabriel Esparza accountable for his callous actions against Ms. Vasquez and her partner. In these moments of profound sorrow, I send my deepest condolences to Ms. Vasquez's family as they cope with this painful tragedy." Gabriel Sean Esparza of Whittier is charged in case BA 517367 with 1 count of murder, 1 count of willful, deliberate, and premeditated attempted murder, 1 count of kidnapping to commit rape, 1 count of abduction, 1 count of assault with intent to commit rape, and 2 counts of attempted forcible rape. Additionally, Particular circumstances of murder during a kidnapping and murder during an attempted rape are alleged. Gabriel was not given the option of a fine. The 20-year-old remained in jail all through his trial. Gabriel appeared in court a few days after his arrest. He pleaded not guilty to all the charges. His next hearing was set for October 25, 2023 at the Clara Shortridge Falls Criminal Justice Center. The police believe that Gabriel Esparza kidnapped Andrea Vazquez from the scene and put her in his puck truck and drove to Moreno Park, where he attempted to rape her before dumping her body on the field. Although Gabriel pleads not guilty to the charge, if he is found guilty by the court, he is looking at facing a penalty of life imprisonment without the option of parole. The Vasquez family was a bit relieved by Gabriel Esparza's arrest. The need for justice for their daughter had become a thorn in their flesh, making focusing on anything else impossible. Andrea's sister Edeline confessed life had not been the same since Andrea's death, and it felt wrong to sleep or even eat. The family spokesman, Moses Castillo, a former LAPD detective, made a statement at the trial of Gabriel Esparza. Today was the beginning of fighting for justice for Andrea Vazquez, a beautiful 19-year-old daughter, sister, cousin, friend, girlfriend that was murdered by the person accused today in court. Castillo described the state of the family as devastated. The Deputy District Attorney, Beth Silverman, had met with Vasquez's family before the first court appearance. The family was informed that there was an attempted rape count against Gabriel Esparza. The news had opened up fresh injuries. Castillo confessed that the family's heart was ripped out all over again. Andrea's mother, Anna, spoke to reporters outside the court, saying she is just interested in getting justice for her daughter. Andrea had only just started her life, and it was unfair for her killer to go scot-free. The police believed that the suspect had acted randomly, as he had no connection whatsoever with the Vasquez family.
There is no relation at this time. It appears to be a random act of violence.
Moses Castillo, the family spokesman, also confirmed this in his interview. There is no connection whatsoever between the accused killer and the victims. None whatsoever. Castillo needed the public to know that Gabriel Esparza was a cold-blooded killer. He had attacked the victim and boyfriend spontaneously. Castillo felt it was important that the public understand that Andrea's boyfriend was an actual victim. He had nothing to do with the incident. Castillo thought it was good that he survived the incident and could tell the world what happened. Gabriel Esparza is the son of an LA fire captain. Ordinary, Gabriel is the typical young adult in LA. He grew up in Downey, California, and works in Lakewood City, where the Whittier police later arrested him. When Gabriel was arrested, it was almost impossible to believe. According to Mount Rodriguez, Gabriel's spokesman, anyone who knew Gabriel found it completely bizarre that he would be arrested for something like that. Gabriel Esparza became unrecognizable to the police and the general public after his arrest. No longer did he seem like the cold-blooded killer who ruthlessly took the life of a bubbly young woman. He was a scared kid. Gabriel admitted that he was scared. There were 7 heavy counts on him, and he could spend all his life in jail. Mr. Rodriguez mentioned that Gabriel was realizing how much trouble he was in. Gabriel Esparza allegedly confessed to kidnapping Andrea Vazquez prior to his arrest. However, the 20-year-old pleaded not guilty to the charges against him in court. The condition of the Vasquez family after their beloved daughter Andrea's death is a mixture of strength and pain. Although absolutely shattered by the tragic, unreasonable murder of their daughter, the family managed to carry on bravely. Andrea's sister Edeline, in an interview before Gabriel Esparza's first court trial, said that she was there to witness the beginning of the journey of getting the justice her sister deserved, as she is a star.
Just trying to process all of this. And we thank you. We thank all of you for your prayers, for your thoughts, for your support and love. Continue lifting our family in prayer because we need it during this time.
The Vasquez family has chosen to allow the memory of their daughter to comfort them. They have found consolation in the fact that Andrea's life was impactful, despite how short it was. In an interview, Andrea Vazquez said, Andrea was the kind of person who could bring hope into the life of anyone she met. She recalled a time when her friend had been condemned to a wheelchair after an accident. After speaking with Andrea, her friend's gloomy mood was lifted. Andrea had that kind of effect on people. Her sister Edeline also confirmed that Andrea's presence had a way of making life better. In her interview, she described Andrea as her best friend and confidant. Andrea's aunt, Ms. Veronica Baraka, had been torn apart by Andrea's death. She described her as an angel, and she was only left with her face and smile. A cousin of Vasquez shared her pain with Fox 11 upon hearing the news of Andrea's disappearance. We have been here praying with my aunt and my uncle. Unfortunately, we were notified of Andrea being found. We are devastated. My uncle and my aunt are heartbroken. We have good, strong family support, so we are just here trying to process this. It's hard. She was our baby cousin, just 19 years old. Such a senseless act. It shouldn't have happened. After Andrea's death, a GoFundMe account was created for the Vasquez family. The public took the opportunity to shine a little light on the family whose bright shining star had been snatched away. Diana Ortiz created the GoFundMe account. In her post on the account, she wrote, "I am asking all my family and friends to help my family with the loss of our beautiful Andrea." As of August 29, 2023, the account had gotten a donation of over $20,000. In a post, Ortiz thanked the public. "We appreciate the love, prayer, and support during this time. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts." Andrea's beautiful soul and endearing personality stirred up the emotions of so many people. Tributes were paid to her in posts and interviews. 2 days after Andrea's body was found, members of the community organized a candlelight procession. Andrea's friends, family, and colleagues gathered at Penn Park, where she was last seen. In an emotional Facebook post, Edeline paid tribute to Andrea. "My beautiful angel, I am completely destroyed. Words cannot describe this pain. I love you with all my heart and soul. Until we meet again, my beautiful baby. R.I.P." Another person posted on social media, "Right now, there is no comfort or words to show our feelings. Know that my dear Andrea is resting in peace, and now she enjoys the presence of God." Andrea Vazquez was a Fullerton College student and worked at a shopping mall in Cerritos. Miss Martinez, an acquaintance of the victim, described her as the funniest person ever and the most beautiful soul. It is impossible to meet Andrea and not like her. The interim vice president of administrative services at Fullerton College also paid tribute to the 19-year-old. Fullerton College is devastated to learn of the news about Andrea Vazquez. We extend our condolences to her parents, family, and friends. Cynthia Olivu, Fullerton College president, said in a statement, "We have enlisted the support of our campus psychologists to provide assistance to our campus community who may have known her and are also grieving her tragic passing. My sweet angel, I am completely destroyed. Words cannot describe this pain." Ms. Vasquez wrote, "I love you with all my heart and my soul. Until we meet again, beautiful baby." What do you think about the police's conclusion on Gabriel Esparza being responsible for Andrea Vazquez's death? Let us know in the comment section. And please, like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories.